Dark City. I wanted to think about why I like this movie so much. There are other films like The Cell that are as visually rich as this one is, but I feel like they're missing something that just doesn't match up with the quality of their visuals. Dark City just has so many things that I already like going for it. It's film noir style, weird-looking monster men, people pushing against the bounds of a Kafkaesque world, a procedural mystery story, and a pretty solid twist ending. This video essay isn't going to be a review or general summary of the film. I'm assuming that you've already seen it. These are more just my thoughts on a movie that I've taken a lot of joy in watching and, thought about a lot. So, spoiler alert. This film is directed and partially written by Alex Proyas, who, while researching this video, I discovered actually made a sort of spiritual sequel to the film called Mask of the Evil Apparition. The film served as a proof of concept for his virtual studio, and is part of a dream anthology series, and maybe I'll make a video about those. When I first saw this movie, I was starting to learn more about photography, and this film is just really nice looking. The way the camera moves feels like a living photograph, and it moves a lot. It's shot with a 90s neo-noir look, courtesy of Dariusz Wolski, I think I'm saying that right, who was the cinematographer for Crimson Tide, Prometheus, Alien Covenant, and 4 out of 5 pirate movies. This film has something else going on that I just wanted to dissect and figure out why it's important to me, and I don't really fully know why yet, but I'm gonna think about it while I make this video. And yeah, some of the effects may have seemed cheesy at the time, but I think they've actually aged really well. Especially this one. I remember seeing the trailer for Dark City and not really feeling much about a desire to see this film. Like most of its fans, I saw it on DVD first. Alright, let's try to break down why I like the movie so much. Is it the striking visuals, great cinematography, and blending of multiple genres? Like the titular city, the production uses bits and pieces picked through from particular eras to decorate and make more convincing the world that they're creating. It's all expertly combined to try and fool the protagonist, and by extension us the viewer, into believing this false reality. But don't get too paranoid just yet. The 1940s inspired designs, combined with a stylish and clean modern aesthetic, makes this film feel not exactly timeless, but not necessarily like something that was made a quarter of a century ago either. The setting is mostly inspired by the United States in the 1940s or 50s. But if you look closely, there's actually quite a hodgepodge of eras and architecture all blended together. While the buildings show a more Gothic and European aesthetic, on the ground level, the city's visual language is more heavily steeped in Americana. Art Deco-inspired appliances that defined American cities in the perceived era, the automats, the music and gruff East Coast accents, and multiple references to the mythical-sounding Shell Beach, a place that our protagonist frequently remembers, but can't remember the last time he's been to. Let's go back to The Cell. The plot from that movie feels like something pulled from an episode of, I don't know, CSI Miami, or CSI wherever that film is set. While The Cell is a stunning collection of beautiful and surrealist imagery, it also relies on a plot that is, in my opinion, unappealing. The Cell just doesn't maintain the same level of suspense or interest for me that Dark City does. It looks good, but it doesn't feel good. And while the creators of Dark City were able to make a film that looks spectacular, it wouldn't mean much if the story and performances weren't just as good. A cast of mumbly-grumbly men and Jennifer Connelly occupy a paranoid world where motivations, lives, and even the landscape are all subject to a bunch of freaky-looking monster men dressed like Hugo Boss Nosferatus. This movie starts out like a Hitchcockian nightmare. An amnesiac wakes up naked in a bathtub, only to soon discover that in the next room lies a murdered woman. He knocks over a fishbowl, but manages to save the fish by putting it into the tub. I'd like to think this is the fish's version of a Dark City. This starts our protagonist off with several mysteries already. Who is he? How did he get here? Who is the dead woman? And who killed her? None of these mysteries are small, but as he pursues the answers to them, we discover that those were never the real questions to begin with. Merely unused set pieces left over by the mysterious strangers. It's not long before he is being pursued. His wife, the police, the doctor, and the strangers all want to find Jay Murdoch, all for very different reasons. This is a movie of multiple twists, MacGuffins, and ultimately the revelation that there is something much larger and stranger happening in the world. This makes the movie very rewatchable. So many things are happening all at once. They all feel like they make sense, but they really click together when you see the movie 4 or 5 times. The plot is multifaceted and intertwined in a clockwork fashion, where you might miss the finer details of how everyone really got to where they got to. One of the main plots introduced at the start of the film, the murdered woman, turns out to be another MacGuffin, as the entire scenario was completely made up by the strangers, as part of a new identity for the protagonist to take the role of a serial killer, and that his wife was likely meant to be one of his next victims. But it was the strangers all along.
How can we help you, sir?
You can like and subscribe.
There's a scene in the film where Kiefer Sutherland's doctor is putting together a recipe for someone's personality, with a dash of trauma here and a bit of sad childhood there. It's a ghoulish parody of the act of creation that cruelly robs people of their lives and their history. It also reminded me of Westworld and the hosts' backstories. Or the other way around, you know what I mean. And of course it reminded me of these guys from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And when I saw this, I really thought, copycats. But it aged well too. This episode terrified me. And it's also the only one I've ever seen. The overall color palette is somehow both muted and vibrant. The city is dark, but it doesn't feel distractingly dark the way that some more up-to-date productions can. It never feels like anything is lost in detail or obscured by it. In fact, the actors' faces are always well lit and provide a good contrast against the backdrops. It would seem that in a city this dark, the lighting has to be just right. It helps that all of the scenes are shot at night by nature of the film, and there's high contrast and sharp angles everywhere to catch and lead the eye. And when I see a scene like this, it really reminds me of this painting. I'm guessing this is just a coincidence, being similar building shapes and angles of view, and I did crop it to better match the framing for this example, but I'd like to think the production designers did have work like this in mind when they put this scene together. While this movie is a visual treat, I should mention that the production design is by Patrick Tatopoulos, who did a lot of really good movies. Here they are. While this movie is a visual treat, it is surprisingly sparse in its dialogue. In fact, in the director's cut, no one speaks for almost 4.5 minutes into the film. Instead, it mostly utilizes short jump cuts and close-ups to objects our protagonist is directly observing himself to propel the action forward. This film is mostly show don't tell for the bulk of its runtime, but when dialogue does come, it's usually pretty quick and punchy, but it also arrives in the form of big exposition dumps. But it didn't really bother me. And the dialogue, while never incredible, is serviced well by the actors. It remains, in my opinion, a film with few wasted scenes. In spite of its extravagant set pieces, great performances, and a soundtrack that reinforces the omnipresent hostility of a world where every surface of the city is under the control of the strangers, the film was not successful on its release, bringing in only $27.2 million worldwide on an estimated budget of $27 million, meaning they really didn't make any money with this film. The trailer obviously didn't help get folks into the theater, myself included. There was just something about the trailer that didn't really sell any of the big ideas or sharp visuals of the actual film. The original theatrical release also has an introductory narration.
First, there was darkness. Then came the strangers.
Giving away a few of the movie's secrets too early, though at the time, it didn't affect my viewing. However, the director's cut omits this narration, and it's probably better off for it. A popular DVD commentary track by Roger Ebert has helped the film achieve more recognition.
Movies don't have to be just photographed plays, all made up out of dialogue. It's hard to make a movie like this, but Proyas has done it, and Dark City is one of the year's best films.
And it has only found more praise as time goes on. Let's go back to the original question that sparked this in the first place. Why do I like this movie so much? While thinking about this, I've realized that I don't just like the movie, I feel a strange connection to it. Respect for its design and execution, its blending of genres, an eerie soundtrack by Trevor Jones, the oddness of the effects. But mostly, it goes back to the photography. In a world that has films like Eraserhead and Barry Lyndon, films I also love, it might seem odd to have so much praise for a movie like Dark City. You get the feeling that the studio really wanted it to be a big blockbuster hit like The Matrix, which came out a year later, or Proyas's earlier film The Crow. But when I look at Dark City like a photo album, it really feels like I'm peering into another world that's complete and lived in. It's full of people and images that make you want to hear their story, even if it's a crazy story. Especially if it's a crazy story. Just about every shot, long or short, is beautifully framed. Even the little shots in this film are shown the same attention to craft. And ultimately, I think my answer lies somewhere in there. It's the layered commentary on human existence, the fluent combination of excellent performances and high attention to aesthetics for a production on a slim budget, and the boldness and perfect composition of each and every frame. I'm grateful that I got to see this style early on in my photographic life. I guess to sum it all up, as dark as the city can be, it still looks really, really great.
You can like and subscribe.
Thanks for watching this video and listening to my random ramblings about a movie that I really like. Have a good night.